Instead of taking the hint, many Americans are now turning to another Chinese app, nicknamed Red Note, which actually translates into Little Red Book, as in communist leader Mao's book of quotations that came out, the Little Red Book. Surely nothing to worry about there.
For more, let's bring in social media expert and CreatorGenius.com founder, Ari Jacob. Great to see you, Ari. So are you going to go over to Mao Zedong's Little Red Book?
Absolutely not, and I would encourage you not to either. But you know,
why?
I think. Oh, go ahead.
No, why?
Well, mainly because we don't know what they're going to do with our data, and not just that. When you sign up for the platform, it actually tells you you're giving away your IP, your name, your likeness, and we don't have to pay you for it. We just own it. Additionally, what I think people are worried about with TikTok as well is that someone over there can pull the lever up or down, what kind of information can be manipulated on those apps. But, you know, I think that people really need to understand why in heaven's name would anybody do this, right? And that's because people are so angry about the TikTok ban. Users are really frustrated because lawmakers don't seem to understand what makes TikTok unique. For example, Justice Alito compared TikTok to, is it an old T-shirt that you just can't let go of? And some people said, you know, why don't you guys just build a new algorithm? And I think what people need to understand is that TikTok's algorithm is like a skyscraper. It's built on billions of interactions over time, and you can't just build it overnight. And unlike Instagram, it's not just for pretty popular people. It kind of gives anyone a chance to go viral. So as someone who focuses on short form video for American businesses, I understand why people are upset, but I'm still not going to that other app.
But I talked to several people in the tech world and a couple more who are young. And I asked them, why are people going over to this communist app? And they said, as a screw you to the US government. They know that it's ultimately controlled by China, the Communist Party of China, and they don't care. They didn't care with TikTok, and now they know, and they care even less. They are angry that their lives revolve around TikTok, and their lives have so for several years, and the people in Congress just pulled the rug out from under them. And so it's really a middle finger to people in Congress. But by the way, somebody in the tech world told me that this algorithm that ByteDance holds so closely would be easy to replicate. You would just have to buy the users from TikTok and just hire some coders to replicate it.
So that's the thing, right? Is even if you rebuilt it and started from zero, that's basically like telling creators, when you're telling them to go to Instagram or go to a new app, you're basically telling creators just move apps. That's like telling a valedictorian to transfer schools 2 weeks before graduation and start over as a freshman in another country where they don't speak the language. So as you can imagine, that frustration has led the Americans to download Red Note. And Red Note operates under strict Chinese censorship and shares its data with the CCP. And people are saying, was it inspired by Mao Zedong's communist handbook? Or, if you believe Wikipedia, Stanford and Bain Capital and maybe even Mitt Romney. So this is getting so weird. But you know, here's what I think the statement that some people are trying to make is that let's just say lawmakers don't want drug dealers in their neighborhood, right? But say you've got dealers who don't sell to kids, they don't use violence, and the police have a handle on how they operate. Well, then you throw those dealers in jail. What happens? Worse dealers move in, and suddenly you've got chaos. And that's kind of what these people are trying to create. Plus, some users think that the alternatives to TikTok in the US are just as bad. We already know that TikTok and Facebook manipulated algorithms to censor information at the request of the US government. So, but I still think that this rebellion could backfire. Red Note's terms of service, again, they ask you to sign away your intellectual property and likeness. Yeah. So it's bit dangerous.
Yeah, and it's not really any better than Instagram's Reels. Ari Jacob, thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thanks for having me.